Hello everybody, and thank you for attending this webinar. My name is Hideaki Hashimura. I'm the CMO for Redgator CRM Solutions. I'll be presenting a customer service transformation or approach on how to solve this business issue. The way we are starting is just briefly introducing Redgator as an organization. We're a technology provider. We hope to provide the capabilities to enable companies to execute their customer strategies through technology in an effective and efficient way. Very briefly, we are an organization that focuses on delivering customer experience technologies. In this case, these are some of the technologies we work with. And that's about it about the company. I'm sure you can find out more in our website if you want to learn more about our company and our services. Okay. Why are we touching on the subject of a customer service transformation? Basically, because times are changing. The way customers and the way the public is consuming services today is evolving at a very fast speed. And it's much different than what it was 10 or 20 years ago. Only 10 years ago, we didn't, the social media, smartphones, and all of these things that are changing the way we interact with our customers didn't exist. And the pace at which these technologies are developing are completely changing the way we interact with our customers. And as brands or as companies, we're always looking at ways to improve our customer experience, and we have to keep up the pace with customer and market demands. But there is a thin line between delivering what the customers want and expect from a brand and making that a profitable practice operationally inside any company. So the trick or the challenge is on aligning customer service with transformation drivers. And when we talk about transformation drivers, we are talking about what's happening in the market and what's happening in the different niche markets that each one of our companies is working in. So we have to align what organizations want. We want trust, loyalty. We want customers to be evangelists for our brands, right? And what customers want. They want a service that is responsive. They want transparency from brands. They want to understand what the providers are all about. But they also want to be empowered to be able to make choices, intelligent choices, and understand, create a relationship with their providers that is based on value. The generation of value only happens when we're able to align both needs and respond to the expectations of a customer base. So what does it mean to generate value when we're talking about customer service, when we're talking about customer experience? The generation of value occurs when a customer can access a desired company's product or service effortlessly. And I think that's the key word we want to emphasize. How much effort does it take for a customer to enjoy any given product or service? And when we talk about effort, it's a combination of three things, right? Time, resources, money, and negative emotions. The lower amount of effort required by a customer, the higher the value we can generate. So customer service transformation is all about generating value. It's all about reducing the effort threshold in our interactions with customers to make experiences almost invisible and positive. Right? We have to keep in mind that the way the market is evolving is that customers are actually using very different channels to interact with us. Loudhouse research shows that customers tend to not to stick to one single channel, but use channels in different situations. We're all used to using phone support. We're all used to looking for information ourselves through self-service, maybe getting text messages from our providers on our phones, sending email requests or accessing support through chat. and even maybe complaining on social media, especially if you work for you being a customer of United Airlines recently. So as you can imagine, customer service is being very, very different today from what it was 20 or 30 years ago, where you can only access customer service through a phone line, where you were routed through different waiting points through an IVR, or if you went to a physical office where you were serviced by a customer service representative. But today is very different. We are able to access our brands or providers through many different channels, and we can be on the bus, in the train, at an airplane, on holiday, at our homes, or at the office, and we will use a different channel to reach the providers of our goods or services that we enjoy. So the key here is how can we lower the threshold of effort that it is required for customers to enjoy our services and our products. So customers want to use different communication channels, but without having to start or repeat the whole conversation every time they call us. And this is, for example, in the telco industry or banking. It's very common that customers have to call, and then they are transferred from one number to the other. They're given a ticket number, call back, and they have to tell the story every time. This is the old days. Expectations from customers are for a much more seamless conversation more than an interaction. Right? We also know that a high percentage of customers believe that companies should deliver an effective multi-channel customer service if they wish to keep them as customers. So it's being effective in providing multi-channel capabilities or multi-channel customer service is a key part on generating loyalty on our markets. 60% of customers change the interaction channel based on where they are and what they are doing. Whether you're at the gym, on your weekend with your kids, or at work, you might be using a completely different channel every time. And it's not relevant to your age, it's not relevant to your profession, it's not relevant to your whether you're a man or woman. We all tend to use different channels, right? So companies can no longer afford to just have one or two isolated communication channels. This is very important if we want to keep up with customer expectations. And customer interactions actually are 4 times more likely to drive disloyalty than loyalty. And this is a very, very interesting fact. The fact that we make available channels to provide customer service, but they actually end up producing a negative result as opposed to a loyalty or a positive result. And that's mostly because those channels, the interactions happening on those channels are not fulfilling customer expectations, right? So I think it's very clear, we all understand and we all been there, it's very clear that we need to reduce the level of effort required when we interact with customers. So we make it an easy and seamless experience for them, right? But that's a little bit more difficult done than said. The factors in designing excellence around customer service are inside the company, where we need to look for efficiency and effectiveness in order to make our operations profitable. But we definitely have customer constraints that we need to keep in mind. Customers are looking for convenience. They are now able to access our communication channels in different contexts, places, things that they are doing. And the complexity of their requests is even higher than before. So we have to keep in mind all of these things while we are delivering an effective customer experience. And customer transformation is all about customer transformation is all about delivering value to the customer. So it's not about the technology, it's not about creating a smooth process that is efficient for the company. It's all about understanding what value means. And like we said before, value in the case of customer experience is very much related to reducing the threshold of effort required by a customer to access our products and services, right? So in the context of a customer experience, delivering value to the customer journey, how the journey takes place with our brand, through the process of them researching, making a decision, purchasing, using our services, using customer service, sharing and recommending our products, or repeating the purchase of the products, is very much based on our ability to deliver or to connect with customers at the right time through their preferred channel. And that is actually a high level of personalization, and that's where interactions with customers are going, right? The fact that we can deliver effortless interactions result on value generation. But for that, we need a layer of multi-channel capabilities that towards the outside, towards the market, enable us to have those conversations at the right time to the right channel, but towards the inside are based on 4 very specific pillars that enable an efficiency-driven and effectiveness-focused organization. And that's, number 1, a seamless user experience, a fully integrated platform, a fully integrated set of tools that allow you to have all the information at hand to deliver that service. Be able to analyze the information that we collect through the customer service interactions so we can design a better customer service experience, and be able to scale over time as the business amplifies, as the business grows, and we fulfill our business plans. For the purpose of today's call, because we cannot cover everything, we're going to focus very much on seamless user experience. We're going to focus on this because it's a very, very basic principle of why many companies fail to deliver a positive customer service experience. And it's basically because a lot of the users are not happy with the tools they are getting. A good user experience can improve job satisfaction, morale, ramp-up time, and overall productivity. I think that's part of common sense of every manager. Every manager is looking at improving the way their staff works, and if the staff have the right tools, they can deliver their work more effectively. Happy agents equals happy customers, and happy agents don't leave, and they stay and stick around, so the rate of staff turnover goes down. Based on Zendesk research, 70% of customer professionals feel unsupported by the current technology. That means that there's a huge gap of technology and customer service tools that in the area of user experience, where people cannot deliver a positive customer experience, not because they don't want to, but because they can't. And 20 to 30% is the average improvement in agents' productivity when switching to a better solution. To switching to a solution that is more focused on usability, right? So what are the technology pieces, or what are the tools that can drive and enable customer service transformation? And we're talking about companies that maybe are servicing customers through email and ticketing platforms, or email and phone, and it's just so difficult and challenging to scale operations and to deliver value to customers beyond just answering a question, right? To be able to amplify or expand capacity when we have peaks of requests, and then go down to the minimum possible when not necessary. So when we're talking about transformation, a big part of transformation is obviously process, people, strategy. But in order to make that transformation happen, you need tools to work, and that's what we're going to talk about today, right? So technology capabilities to enable customer service transformation. We're going to start with knowledge base and customer communities, because customers want to feel empowered, and the result of that is that basically we can increase the capacity of the customer service delivery team. Many customers do not like to talk to an agent if possible. They rather find the answers themselves, right? But keeping up a community or keeping up a knowledge base page, it can be quite difficult just because of the amount of information that needs to be delivered. So the right platform can actually help decrease the amount of customer service inquiries, allowing customers to find the answer by themselves. So how many of us are looking for information before we actually have to make a phone call or open a ticket, right? In the case of Foursquare, they solve 95% of the inquiries via self-help before customers decide to open an inquiry. Enabling customers to find the answers fulfills their need for empowerment and reducing the workload of the customer service team. So we're more able to manage that expectation, right? These type of platforms are very convenient, they're practical. It allows the users to find the information wherever they are, whenever they want to do it. If we don't have a customer service team that is available 24/7, what happens when customers want service outside office hours, in the evenings, very early in the mornings or the weekends, right? And sometimes the requests are not even that complicated. So having a proper knowledge base and a community of customers that are able to feed themselves with answers has a huge impact on the capacity. We're going to look at an example of this technology in a little bit, but I wanted to introduce the concept. We're going to move on to automating ticketing and email channel. And the key word here is automation. When we talk about automation, we always talk about increasing capacity, higher capacity, augmenting efficiency, because all that has to do with higher margins. Doing it more with less resources, so we're more efficient over time. 76% of customers have used email to interact with a customer service agent. I mean, this is not rocket science. I think all of us have access to some type of customer service through email because it's very convenient, actually. It's just sending an email to an email address. But the thing is, this is actually a huge challenge for most organizations. Logistically, in terms of how you manage an email-based customer service, it's very difficult to scale, very difficult to automatize, very difficult to manage the quality of the responses, requires heavy infrastructure, and the worst part is that it's a very broken experience for the client, a very broken experience for the user. We've had situations where customers, companies were growing really quickly, e-commerce especially was growing really, really quickly. And I remember when we were delivering Amazon Spain, they opened a support channel through email. And emails just started pouring in, and they started on the hundreds, and they quickly scaled to thousands. And somebody had to actually physically read the email headers or the content to then decide who they assign them to, right? And that happens more regularly than we wish it did. So how can we turn the email channel into an efficient and effective machine, right? So technology should allow you to automatically take all those email requests without having to copy-paste the content into a ticketing tool. Then track and measure and classify, establish SLAs based on simple business rules that can automatize categorization, and you can escalate processes if needed. Then automatize the assignment of the tickets, the email-based tickets, to agents, right? And the idea is that even though customers might be sending an email, the following up of that email and the status of the open request is managed internally through a ticket, even though to the customer it continues being an email conversation. Then thus lowering the barrier. Right? An example of that is Skyscanner. They increased their efficiency on delivering customer service by implementing these three tools, right? The ticketing, automated ticketing, email, and self-service. Right? We're going to look at an example of how that's done later on the product. And we want to talk about integrating voice. And actually, the thing about voice, the telephone calls, right, is not necessarily the fact that we can receive phone calls. It's the fact of how much can we do with the phone call? How much can we use that in the context of the information that we have from customers in-house? Is it an integrated platform, or is it just phone, CTI, and PBX that we're working with, right? So how can we make sure that the phone service is integrated within the digital ecosystem, and that it's designed to deliver value to the customer, right? And if I'm a customer service agent and I have my desktop with my Outlook and my email, and then I have my telephone on the other hand, and then I have to access my CRM solution to look at the customer file, my user experience is completely broken. And then when a customer calls and he's been waiting for 3-4 minutes on the phone, and then I have to pass them on to another department where they have to tell the story completely again, that's a completely broken experience for the customer, right? So the challenges with the voice channel is that it's very difficult to scale. Same thing as with email. If you want to scale that channel, you gotta hire more people. So it becomes very expensive. It's very expensive to automate because you have to set up a lot of hardware to make it work. And even today with digital PBX phone systems, you still have to, if it's not integrated, the user experience, the client experience is broken, right? So there are some challenges around that. What we need to look at is how can we design, how can we use the voice channel in the context of all the technologies we use internally to provide a positive user experience, an integrated user experience, so users of the platforms in-house can deliver value to customers by lowering the effort required to interact with them, right? And there are some questions that are raised when we talk about voice, right? Should we support every interaction on the phone, or is there a way we can reduce the amount of phone interactions? Can we define specific moments in the customer journey where it does make sense to speak with a customer on the phone, and then other points on the customer journey where perhaps the customer does not need to speak on the phone directly? What are the alternative channels when we're not there to answer the phone, when we're out of office hours? And if we do have to put a 24/7 customer service number, how expensive is that? Can we make that more cost effective, right? How scalable is the phone service that we provide to customers, right? Basically, what we need to look at is that phone interactions are less needed when there are other more effective channels that customers can use in different contexts. So by opening other channels, we might be able to reduce the amount of capacity required to deliver customer service through the phone during office hours. Right? That's one case study with Ingram. It's a content company, publishing company that is being able to quickly ramp up the delivery of customer service through voice within an integrated virtual context, within an integrated digital ecosystem that enabled a seamless user experience that was not broken and that delivered value to the end client. Right? We're also going to look a little bit at this later on the presentation. The other channel is chat, and the great thing about chat, there's actually quite a few great things about chat, but it allows you to be there at the right time, even when customers are not requesting an interaction, right? So Chat allows you to deliver agile and effective intervention in key moments of the customer journey. The other thing is that in terms of capacity, a chat agent can service between 3 and 5 customers simultaneously based on the complexity of the interactions. Because customers, I mean, it's not like a phone conversation where it's always one-to-one. Here you can have 1 to 3, 1 to 5. Chats can be initiated by customers, but they can also be initiated by us, by the companies delivering service, based on business rules. And another great thing about chat is that it can be embedded within an application on your phone, an application on your app, your website, a video game, and things like that. And later being able to analyze the chat history, we know what time of the days does customer service have peaks, right, experiment peaks, and how many tickets are we servicing through chat, or how many sales are we helping close through chat. Right? Having the chat embedded and integrated within our applications deliver huge value to the business, because it can help us fulfill a customer journey on a website, a customer interaction on a website, whether it's customer service or maybe finding information or purchasing a product. Having chat on your e-commerce site to help customers fulfill their purchase, for example, is a huge way to monetize this investment and make sure that the customer experience is not broken. And this can be initiated automatically by the platforms when recognizing a customer is stuck at any specific given point of their navigation or website, for example. So the benefits are actually very tangible, right? They provide better customer experience, reducing the effort throughout the journey with our brands. And so embedding these type of platforms within our digital channels increase sales conversion rates, reduce churn, increase efficiency of the support interactions, and so forth. So this brand, Letot, is being able to go way beyond what they initially had scoped to help customers get through beginning purchase and customer service based on these capabilities, right? What we know is that clients are going to use any emerging channels that they can to interact with brands. So the concept is not that the channel itself is important. What's important is that we are ready to deliver a great customer experience through any channel that becomes mainstream, because customers will use it. In this case specifically, how are customers interacting with us on our Facebook page? How are customers interacting with us through SMS or Twitter? These are now mainstream platforms that are being used by the millions of customers throughout the world. So it's okay when you get a great positive experience being mentioned about your brand on the internet. But what happens when it's negative? What happens when you need to answer to that customer and make sure you turn that into a positive experience? Being proactive, going out there, catching the negatives that are negative comments on social media and bringing them into a more secure and controlled environment where you can deliver the service, solve the problem, and then get back to the public and deliver that, right? So the same way we would treat emails, any type of interaction on Facebook or Twitter or SMS, we can automatically transform that into a ticket, we're able to track, measure, classify, establish SLAs, apply business rules, automatize the ticket resolution to categorize, escalate processes, and deliver value to the customers, right? Without the user in the company having to go on to the company's corporate Twitter or the company's corporate Facebook page to answer to the customer, right? So it's able to, in the power of technology that delivers the effects of customer service transformation. The potential is based on the fact that all of these channels are integrated within one single context, one single user interface. So the user experience internally is positive. Thus, that person working on a customer service team can deliver customer service successfully, right? So now that we've looked at these basic concepts of what are the basis for customer service transformation, we want to take a quick look at customer technologies of tomorrow that can help your brand be more competitive today. And even though we cover several technologies for marketing, for sales automation, we today are going to talk a little bit about Zendesk. And we love Zendesk because of their ability to provide a seamless user experience internally, but compile all of the channels in one single user interface. So the user adoption in the company, the ability to deliver value to end users is there. Zendesk focuses on three very important perspectives of the customer service transformation scheme. In the center is the customer. Are we able to deliver the value that the customer is expecting through the interactions that we're experiencing every day? Providing empowerment, providing a positive journey, a positive experience, providing to the customer all of the things that they're expecting from us in terms of customer service. But also empowering the agent, right, through an open and modern platform, and making them productive and fulfilled, giving them insight into what's happening. And with the agent, the customer service or operations manager that has to look at performance, has to look at how much capacity we can deliver to within the organization out to the world, and the level of quality that we're delivering. And this is what the key players, the key three perspectives of customer service transformation that Zendesk addresses through their design of the product. They focus very much on the basics of modern customer service technology, which is designing a positive journey and experience, empowering and increasing productivity, creating knowledge, accumulating knowledge and insights about the customer through an open platform. So then we talk about technology and making it scalable. So if your business scales from 10 agents today to 200 agents tomorrow, and you have to do it within weeks, you can do it, right? So what we wanted to do is, in the last minutes of the presentation, show you something else, something a little bit more focused on a practical case on the technology. Also, I'm gonna work with my colleague Deborah. She is one of our product managers for Zendesk. So if you give me a minute, I'm gonna transfer the mission control to Deborah. All right, so what we're gonna look at here is we're gonna start with a knowledge base and community management, right? How can customers look for information? How can we answer their needs before they even reach us? So Deborah, can you tell me a little bit about how are we able to set up this platform to help customers self-service?
Sure. I would like to show you an example of a self-service tool from the customer point of view and go through the key features. Well, this is just an example of our knowledge base, which is full of articles and frequently asked questions. The articles, as you can see, are divided into different categories to help customers to find the answers to their questions before even contacting customer service. There is also an option of promoting articles as well to make them even easier to find. Well, of course, their main use here would be the global search. In here, even when we're actually typing, we can see that the tool is also giving us suggestions of articles that we might be interested in. If this is not what we're looking for, then the search results will show us any article that is related to this word or sentence that we typed in, and if there's also any post in our community, in case that could answer our customers' questions. I would also like to show you the community part. The community has the same structure and as the knowledge base, and customers can find previous posts to answer their questions as well. They also have the choice of creating new posts in case that their questions were not answered, or if not, they can also submit a request. As you can see here, this is an example of a post that was answered by one of our agents. That's why it says answer. It's taking a little bit of time, sorry about that. So in this case, if someone was actually asking about ride sharing, they would know that in this case it's not offered at this time, but it will be in the future. So there will not be any need for to submit a request. But if they did, there's also that option available. In this case, we will be able to select which type of inquiry we are referring to, and then we will be able to submit a request that will create a ticket within Zendesk. But this is just, as I said, from the customer point of view. But I'm guessing you would like to see how an agent would actually receive the ticket and deal with it. Okay, well, Hideki sent us a request through our the same web form that we just seen, and this is how it came. It was like an hour ago. So we can see the subject, who's actually the person who sent the message, when, the channel, the priority, type of inquiry. This is all you can also personalize this and see wherever you need. And also the person that is assigned to. If we click on ticket, okay, in here you can see on the left-hand side the information about the ticket and also the customer. If we go back to the ticket, this is the main part. This is how we receive the information. And on the right side, there's also apps that will help us deliver a better customer service experience. In this case, Hideki's question is actually a very recurring one. So what we've done is that we have optimized an answer for him for us to make it easier for him to get a faster customer service experience. If we click on macros, because I know already here that because due to the information that Hideki is giving us, this answer suggestion app is telling us, oh, maybe you want to use the login instructions article that is in our knowledge base that he might not have seen. So I've just created a macro, which is this one called related article, where it will just give us the information instead of typing. And also what we can do is just attach the login instructions. But as you can see, it also lets you read it just in case it has nothing to do with what the customer wants. In this case, we just added the login instructions, and then as you can see, the macro also changed the status to solve, so that in 2 clicks, you've resolved the issue.
So basically, the main principle around knowledge base is that the customers can find the answer to most things before they even reach to us. So by that, we're reducing the amount of interactions we have with them. And second, when they do reach to us through the knowledge base platform, we have a series of predefined answers to the most standard requests. So we can quickly answer, right? But as everything else that Zendesk manages, any other channels, this is logged in as a ticket. So the user only has to learn one interface, and that's a ticket interface, right? Can you show us a little bit how easy it is to, in the case for email, in the case of email, how easy it is to configure business rules that can help us automatize the processes, escalating and so forth?
Yes, exactly. Well, if you have noticed, well, we have views here to categorize the tickets, which could be depending on the ticket status, the type of inquiry, or the channel where it came from. And then in this case, this one came straight to management. Why is that? Well, I'll show you. You can also see the priority is urgent because he selected a technical inquiry, okay? And it was assigned to Chris Johnson, which is the agent that I'm actually playing a role. In this case, it's really easy to set up. So we go to admin, and as you can see here, we have business rules that can be managed by triggers, automations, and SLAs. Okay? Well, in this case, what we've done is because Hideki, he is a premium customer, and in this company, we have a policy that for premium customers, we need to answer we need to reply to them the first time within 2 minutes. And this is how we've created an SLA so that it can let us know what's the limit regarding to our SLA, our policy. As simple as this. Well, we have the name, the description, and then we have the condition. So in this case, as I said, the customer subscription type is premium. And if it was a VIP customer that has been tagged as that, then this will be the policy, okay? So the first time that a customer needs to be replied to, it would depend on the priority as well. So if it's an urgent priority, like for example, a technical issue, it will be within 2 minutes. So the system will let you know if you're reaching that limit. Also, if we use triggers, we can escalate and redirect tickets to the right group of agents.
So I think the key part here is I want to accelerate a little bit because we have a little bit of a tight schedule. The key thing here is that the technology allows you to design triggers, automations, SLAs, and other things that are coming up in the future, right? That make the managing of tickets a lot more efficient.
Exactly.
So you don't have to actually be looking at a request one by one. So all of these assignments, escalations happen automatically. And the great thing about this is that triggers and automations are something that somebody can configure internally. So you don't need to go and request the programmer, the IT team to change the application.
That is right.
So one of the managers in the operations team can actually design all of the business rules. So this is it. And the other thing that Zendesk is great is implementing the voice channel. And like we said before, it's not just about being able to have a voice channel available for customers. It's how well integrated it is within the context of the customer service team, right? So we're gonna quickly do a test. I'm gonna call the customer service number that we have here. And the idea is that when you make a phone call, it's just another ticket. So you don't have to go out and create a new or go out of the application.
Exactly.
And create use a different application.
Exactly. Everything's integrated. As you can see, you have your health center here, which is what we shown. Then you have talk and then chat as well. Oh, there you go. Here you are. So if I am the agent, which is online, so if I accept, Hideki, how can I help you?
Yeah.
Exactly. That's an example. So if when we have the conversation with the customer, while we do it, we can also send an internal note to our staff in case there's something that we are not sure of, just by selecting the person and send the message. And if not, then we can just hang up, and there will be a record of the conversation, as you can see here, that you can play anytime in case there's any doubts or if there's any reason to record it. And this is how simple you can actually have in one ticket a conversation with a customer within the same tool. You don't need to use in different tools to be able to get incidents or requests through different channels. It's just by using one of them.
The great thing about this is that you can take incoming calls and directly log them into the customer's profile. And if you have a CRM, like Sugar CRM, for example, that information can be then shown to the CRM. So the users in the sales team or other business areas can see that a phone interaction has happened, and if they wanted to, they can access the ticket and look at the information. Right? But also, if we wanted to make a phone call out from inside to the customer from within an existing ticket, we can also call the customer. Right?
Exactly, yes. Just by clicking here within the ticket, you will find the customer number, and then you can just give them a call back. And or if exactly, that's the way it will be done.
The other thing that is actually very interesting is the way Zendesk handles social media comments, such as Twitter and Facebook. But before we go to that, sorry, I wanted to look at chat, because I love chat. Chat is one of the coolest features I've seen, just because it allows you to embed the chat in the user experience. Like in this case, we work with a gaming company, and we can see here that, for example, this gaming is having issues with loading. He can open a support chat from within the game, which is actually a pretty cool feature. But it can be something like this, but it can also be your shopping cart. It can also be your product website. It can be your landing pages for your campaigns. If you launch a campaign for a product that is intense through 1 week and you want to be able to have people convert, you can have people talking to customers on chat, right? The great thing about chat is that it's pretty omnipresent. We can put it anywhere. It can be embedded in any digital platform, including mobile. So it makes the experience a lot more positive. So let's do that example.
Yeah, I know you're a gamer, so I'm just going to use your account. So that you can see how the customer will be able to see the chat while he's still within the experience. He's not left. So he's just saying hello, and then I'm just going to show you how the agent receives this. Okay, as you can see, the agent just receives a new chat and takes the request. Easy to actually answer to the customer. So with shortcuts, we can answer to the customer quite quickly, as you can see.
And I think this is another great feature that because you have prepared answers and like readings and answers to the most common questions, it allows you to reply quickly. But obviously, customers on the other side are not gonna type as fast. So that allows you to service more than one customer at a time, right? Depending on the complexity of the request, you can answer several chats at the same time, increasing the capacity. And the other thing is, many customers might want to access your customer service, but they might not be able to speak if they are, for example, working, but they are available on chat. It allows you to service customers to that channel that is not talk, right?
Exactly. Also, if there's a language barrier, you can chat with them in their own language, because you will have a translator here that will just change. It will translate what they are saying to you, and it will translate what we're saying to them as well.
You feel that?
Yeah.
So, all right, and can we look at how you will handle Facebook and Twitter on the same platform?
Sure. Well, we can see here that we have categorized the tickets depending on the channel. So in this case, Twitter, we have received a new Twitter today. This is how it will look like. So they're saying, when is the new game going to be available? As simple as answering here, they will get a reply. If we were unsure of the answer, we can also check internally with the internal note. But let's say next summer 2017, and then go and submit as solved. Okay, and also through Facebook. In this case, we have a new one. Someone has written on our wall, so we can do exactly the same thing. Or if we have that person details, then we can contact them privately as well. In this case, next summer.
And what it does is actually it is answering. You can reply on the wall, but you can also reply through Facebook Messenger. So you can have actual conversations with customers. And the good thing about this is that customers do not need to leave their current their contacts. So a customer that is on your Facebook page, on your product Facebook page, does not need to go out of Facebook and go to your website and submit a form or make a phone call.
Exactly.
They can directly from within Facebook be interacting with you. So we definitely break down the barrier or bring down the threshold of effort required to interact with the brand. And that's what a customer service transformation is all about. Being able to deliver the value to the customer wherever they are at the right time to the right channel, but at the same time making operations internally more efficient and more effective, right?
Exactly. I would just like to say that this is just a hint of the potential of this tool. So there's so many other things to do, and it's so easy to use. As you said, it's very user friendly and also end user friendly.
Yeah, so given that we are actually out of time right now, I'm happy to invite anybody that is attending the webinar to get in touch with us. We'll be glad to
turn that.
What's happening here? Let me see. All right. So we'll be glad to do a customized presentation for you and run you through the features that are more relevant. Our services are not focused only on technology, but understanding how your business can leverage on the technology. How can your customer experience be designed in a way that delivers value to your end user? Whether you're B2B or B2C, whether you're an e-commerce platform or you're not. A lot of the way we work is first understanding the drivers for the technology and what is it that makes the company work properly internally while delivering high value to the end user. Please reach out to us. We'll be happy to, like I said, organize a call, maybe a demo. And if we can, we'll come to see you and maybe talk about your specific case. If you have any questions that we can address, please send us an email to marketing@redgator.net, and we'll be happy to answer it as soon as possible. All right, I think we're done for now. I think we have a couple questions coming on the chat, but we'll answer back privately through email. Thank you very much, everybody. We're going to be publishing a couple more webinars in the near future. Stay tuned, and we'll see you soon. Have a great Friday and a weekend.